Is it going to go to a game 3? Scoundrel, what do you think?
Well, it really depends on how much C9 can kind of find their previous self here. With I Love Joseph on Koshka, that screams aggression. Old School's going to need to be aggressive on this duel as well. This isn't a competition where you can sit back and say, let TSM do their thing. And I Love Joseph already off to an aggressive start. Look at this very early counter jungling coming out. Knows how to exploit an alpha who is very weak at the first level.
Oh boy. Joseph's going on Vonsi so hard already. You said to me, he's a very aggressive player. Level 1 just coming in. Doesn't really care all too much. He's going to steal away some of the backs there as well. He's going to have to get away. Lyra is no way nearby. However, a speed up on that heroic perk is surely going to help. Vonsi has found her. Just the damage. They are scared of this level 1 Joseph on this Koshka pick.
Yeah, but you should be, because level 1 Koshka actually can really hurt. Joseph actually didn't get all of that back double camp. I actually believe that FlashX picked up one with his polite company, so not a completely successful invade for I Love Joseph, but it has disrupted Vonsi, and there's more that you can take away from an alpha early on, the better. If he can get this healing camp here as well, he would have taken almost 2.5 of the camps that are left in the Vonsi side jungle. And Vonsi now realizes he's going to head towards this healing camp. And I Love Joseph is in wait. He is really waiting to put pressure on. But level 2, you're slightly better at dueling now that you've got that prime directive from Vonsi.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to jump in, though, straight onto the Elder Tree. And Vonsi is actually going to pick up that one. It's not the Elder one, it's just the mini one. And he's actually going to get it. So Joseph not being able to steal anything away just yet. However, Gabe Vizzle is going to join him here. Vonsi's going to prime directive in. Gets a nice double hit on both the Cloud9 members. They're going to have to run away here, I think. However, they might be able to duel. But Best Chuck NA is going to roam down on this Vox. But just going to go back to lane. And we do obviously have a duel and a Vox in the lane now. How does that matchup fare out? Because I got to think Chuck's just going to bully Old School.
Yeah, Chuck should be able to bully Old School, but remember with duel, you take reduced damage when you're facing your target, so it's not as bad as some melee matchup. As well as with the Book of Eulogies, you actually have a decent amount of sustain built in there, as well as you taking less damage from Best Chuck anyway. So it's not the worst matchup in the world. You can farm with Thunderstrike. You take a lot of less damage from the auto attacks and the resonance bounces. So it's actually one of the better melee matchups into a ranged carry. And I think Old School's going to be fine. You know, just farming up. He actually went to the backs of I Love Joseph and took the passive gold there as well. So he's actually accelerating pretty quickly here. He's actually ahead on farm compared to Best Chuck NA as well.
Well, that's pretty impressive in the melee versus range matchup. And Cloud9 just being so aggressive, just kind of following Joseph around now. He's just had complete control over TSM's jungle. And this has been just a stark contrast to what happened last game.
This is I Love Joseph, you know, maybe a year ago. This is kind of what we knew him for. Before he was on this roster with C9, he was this super aggressive jungler. He gave no quarter to his opposition and was just, you know, looking for every opportunity to make his opposing jungler's life hell. And you know what I really like about Lyra and Koshka? Their movement speed and their ability to run rings around their opponent is absolutely fantastic. And as a CP alpha, if you don't land your prime directive when you've got those stacks of core overload, it's actually really hard to land a significant amount of damage. And look at this, I Love Joseph going in.
He's going in super hard onto Vonsi. Vonsi jumps over the wall, though. Prime directives in. Doesn't notice Gabe Vizzle there, though. Has to back off rather quickly as FlashX has only just appeared. However, Joseph yet again coming through. Just going to dash away, though. Not a problem. Just so mobile on that.
Yeah, super mobile.
Well. It's crazy.
Finally, Crystal Sentry turns up to provide a little bit of protection here for Vonsi, but Vonsi definitely being starved out a little bit. Although actually, according to my screen, actually has more creep score than I Love Joseph, which is either a bug or is actually true, and somehow I Love Joseph has not picked up anything. I don't think I Love Joseph has actually farmed much of his own jungle here. That could be a reason. I think they might be funneling as much as they can onto Old School, which is something that we saw Phoenix Armada at Worlds do. They just funneled all of their farm onto Druid and then allowed them to hit breakpoints of particular items. And those particular items for Old School are going to be, you know, the Tyrant's Monocles, the Sorrow Blades. Once he hits those, he's going to really start hitting hard.
Yeah, and just saw him actually using the big red button there. Didn't actually hit anybody. Just to kind of dissuade TSM, I think, a little bit. But with that, yet again, I Love Joseph just harassing Vonsi. Just won't leave him alone. He is actually cosplaying a cat. Just will not leave you alone. And he's going to wander back to the lane, however. As these level 6s are approaching, man, I'm going to be pretty scared for Vonsi and their Best Check NA, because they're just going to get doved on.
I'm actually while it looks like I Love Joseph has got complete dominance, he's behind in experience, or was behind in experience. He's ever so slightly behind now. And behind in farm compared to Von C. So for all of this unchecked aggression, for all of this ability to put pressure onto Von C, he's not actually farming his own jungle. And is actually only getting limited resources from the enemy jungle. So yeah, I'm not totally sure that it's actually been as effective as it's looked so far, Jaws. It looked flashy, it looked like he was being aggressive, it looked like he was on top, but actually, he's kind of just starved himself of experience and farm.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, 18 to 21 creep score. Like, Von C just out farming him ever so slightly, but it's, it's still there. He still has a little bit more gold than Joseph. And, Joseph, maybe the aggression just working against him in this manner. I mean, Von C taking a little bit of damage there, and Cloud9 yet again just kind of stealing away that Treant, and now the gold mine is on the table for them as well. I think that's going to go down instantly. I don't think TSM even know it's happening, but
they actually look like they are actually funneling all the farm onto Old School.
They really are.
Yeah, that actually looks like it's being the case here. They're saying Old School, we know that you're going to hit really hard really quickly, so maybe they're trying to give him as much farm from the enemy jungle as possible to get him to hit the breakpoints of Sora Blade Tyrant's Monocle, Sora Blade Tornado Trigger, whatever they're looking to go for, and saying you're going to be the guy. But Joseph now is farming back jungle, so yeah, it's kind of almost a mixed match between the two. Sometimes Old School seems to come down and take away jungle farm from Von C, but Joseph now finally getting some farm in his own jungle, and has now just pulled ahead of Von C in farm, which it felt like it was a long time coming, given how aggressive he'd been able to be.
Yeah, most definitely. But then I guess you look at the numbers between Old School and Best Chuck. He's ahead a good 12 to 13 creep score right now on Old School. So you can really see where Cloud9 really want to put their resources, and obviously he does have Sora Blade now as well, a big power spike for him. He's gonna probably use that soon. Crystal Sentry is gonna get started up by Cloud9. Polite Company on 3 people. I love Joseph though. See you later. He gets taken down instantly by Von C and the gang. Gavis was gonna have to back off here soon as well. Does use the passage over, but he's gonna get taken out. Old School's gonna pick up the Best Chuck and Ave is gonna pick up that kill. Old School now on the run. Prime Directive is gonna fall a little bit short, but TSM just preying on Cloud9 and their over-aggression.
Again, the breakpoint of Aftershock, and this is something we talked about with I Love Joseph last time. When you have an alpha and you have an Aftershock, that's the time that you want to start really being aggressive. And they actually did this with the right time. They timed their fights properly. This is one of the major things to do when you're playing CP Alpha. You want to be able to time your aggression so it plays around your really important breakpoints. And actually, they did that really well in that particular fight. I'm really glad to see the TSM playing around their item spikes. It's proved very useful.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you think he'll get an infusion this early again as well? It's just something I've been thinking about a little bit, as the turret does get destroyed, C9. Just pushing those waves in constantly as well just really helps them get those early turrets. And rotating back now. And yeah, I'm always curious to see if they actually are going to get infusions. Cloud9, though, I can't speak about that just yet. Like company onto 3 people. Flash X is going to jump in as well. He's in the midst of it all, but you got to look at Von C. He's just destroying Joseph in the backline, and now Old School's going to get jumped on as well. Von C just popping off now with that early aggression from Cloud9, just not working out for them whatsoever. Gabe Vizzle uses the passage, but I'm not sure it's going to work. Prime Directive hits, and Flash X drags him back into himself, not giving Von C the triple, but they pick up the ace.
My word. That was super impressive from TSM. Not only that, I Love Joseph has gone Shatterglass first. He's gone for Complete Burst, and that Complete Burst is going to be aimed directly at Best Chuck. But Best Chuck reflex blocks the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. I Love Joseph then gets stuck in no man's land. Von C hits a huge Prime Directive, and looks like he's going in. Von C actually there. Last minute ultimate.
Oh, he just goes in onto Old School. That's going to be so much damage, but are they going to be able to follow it up? Old School's going to have to run away. Gabe Vizzle is going to be there. Has got the healing that he needed, but TSM, that was so close. I thought Von Z was just going to pop off then and just take at least another couple of kills.
Yeah, very, very close. And he actually timed that ultimate to perfection, making sure it wasn't wasted. Because if you die, if you pop your passive, your ultimate is wasted anyway. So one of the main things you do as an alpha, if you're going to die, you just buy yourself some more time with your with your termination protocol, because it gives you the shield, allows you to maybe slightly reposition. If you're going to die and you have your passive up, you might as well use your ultimate. And actually, he found some pretty serious damage onto Old School there. I think the one hope that C9 have is what Jewel is very, very good at doing, is just chunking down and ripping through global objectives. And you're going to see it here on this gold miner. They're going to absolutely shred through this.
Oof. Yeah, that's not long for the world. See you later. 261 gold is going to be collected, each player as well. Beautiful. And that will mean Cloud9. Look at the gold leading scoundrel, 1.2k right now.
Oh,
1.5k even. A huge amount of gold. Oh,
Go to the bank. Gabe Vizzle, wow, super aggressive.
Whew, that passage. I mean, he's been using it a lot to escape recently. I mean, using it a little bit aggressively, maybe his calling. But Flash X just kind of get some vision down with those flares. But Cloud9 just again on their aggression. And do you think it's even necessary at this point? I mean, TSM are just so far ahead in terms of kills. And I think power spikes at least. But the gold obviously in the favor of Cloud9. What is going on in this game? It just seems to be Cloud9 just, even though they have got the kill deficit, they're just playing up to their strengths.
Well, they're doing the classic Cloud9 and just focusing the global objectives, which is actually giving them a net gold advantage. Best Chicken takes a lot of damage here, but look at that Isle of Joseph.
Joseph as well takes a lot of damage. He's not going to be long for the world either. Oh my goodness, Protocol gets popped, and my goodness, Old School actually escaped. I'm not entirely sure how. Best Chicken is going to be able to pick off Isle of Joseph and Gabe Vizzle. However, he does trade, so it's going to be a 2-for-1. But Old School, that was so close, leaping out just in the split second. Von C uses Termination Protocol.
Do you know I talked about Alpha not being fantastic in the last game? Well, Alpha in this game, in my opinion, is a great pick. Do you know why? Because realistically, and Finn as well, actually, both Finn and Alpha, the way that C9 are going to play a fight is they are going to barrel in on one target. And if they barrel in on one target, what are they doing? They're grouping up. Do you know what Finn likes to do? Grouped targets. He loves to hit polite company and quibble onto group targets. Do you know what Alpha likes? Group targets, big prime directives, big termination protocols. This kind of plays directly into TSM's hands. If C9 wants to go in and kill Best Chuck NA on the backline, they are going to have to group up to do that. And that's going to be great for Finn, great for Alpha, and this should be TSM fairly easily, you know, winning the team fights, even with this gold deficit.
Does it look like they want to try to go in again? Gabe Vizzle might be a little bit caught here. Force of Court is going to be used. Doesn't get anybody. It's just going to be blocked. In fact, there it goes. Cuddy Captain Frenzy does go on to the box. He ends up falling here. This is a 1-for-1 at this current time, but Von C is down. Old School does manage to pick him up, and now they turn this one around. Flash X does get the stun onto Old School. He is going to want to chase this one up. Gabe Vizzle using the speed boost as well. Flash X, is he going to be able to escape? One more hit will do it. Big red button finishes him off. Ace comes through for Cloud9, and a nice little turnaround from them. Now 3k gold lead ahead.
Oh, just when I was talking about TSM doing well in the team fight, the Caster's Curse strikes and they get tracked by C9. But the main mistake I think TSM made there was they were the one that was trying to force the issue. They were the one that put themselves in a precarious position. They made it very easy for Isle of Joseph and Old School to turn around and get straight onto Best Chuck NA. You don't want to make it that easy for them to kill the Vox. You need to make them work for it. You need to make them try and follow him in a kiting pattern. Even still, you saw the amount of damage that Von C got off with the Prime Directive in that fight. It was pretty huge. So despite the disadvantageous positioning for TSM, it still resulted in an almost win for them. If you turn this around and say, okay, let C9 engage onto us, let Best Chuck NA kite, and then let Von C kind of go unnoticed doing the work with Prime Directive and things like that, it might have been a different story. Another major factor of that team fight, Von C forgot to click his ultimate. So actually he just wasted his heroic perk for absolutely nothing, and his ultimate wasn't used at all.
Yeah, that is a big thorn in your side. However, it doesn't like he's found Old School now. Old School taking a lot of damage. Will he pop the ultimate this time? There we go. Termination Protocol coming in. But Best Chuck NA is going to get Gurney Cap frenzied. It is going to get blocked, but he still goes down to Joseph. This early aggression is really paying off for him now as he does get sliced in half by Von C. Now Old School is chasing. Flash X jumps right on top of him. It is going to be resisted the knockback, but isn't going to be long for this world either. Old School is going to pick him up, and Von C is going to get away. However, Cloud9 just coming on top. These games, or this game at least, is so backwards and forwards between these two titans.
Oh, well, again, TSM were the ones that tried to force the issue instead of being the ones that were kiting back and allowing Cloud9 to come to them. But I guess one of the major issues is around the fact that Kraken is spawned now, around the fact that Goldmine was fully stacked. TSM kind of had to try and face check or had to try and engage onto C9, And that's one of the major advantages of having a weapon-powered duel, is that you will, if you're ahead, you are going to force the enemy to have to react to global objectives because you will take them very, very quickly. And I think that's one of the issues with TSM. They haven't got a lot of vision. In fact, they've got no vision in the mid side of the map. And they feel like they have to be the ones trying to go in and be the ones being aggressive towards C9. Because if they don't, if they let them sit back, C9 will just rip apart every global objective from the middle of the map, and when the Kraken is up, that's even more important not to let them do that. So I think TSM are in an awkward position here. I talked about how I thought their team fight was better, but C9 seem to have the flow of the game and seem to be making forcing TSM to make decisions that they don't want to make.
What a table turner, or a seesaw, I guess you could call it. Just going backwards and forwards.
Is seesaw a British term, or is seesaw like a universal English term?
I hope it's a universal English term, although half the people won't have a clue what I'm on about. A seesaw is a bit of wood with a... How would you describe a seesaw, actually?
It's like a child's a piece of play equipment that...
Yeah, it goes up and down.
One person on the end and one person on the other end, and it goes up and down.
Yeah. This game is like that. You've never seen one before.
This is showing my ignorance of the English language, that I'm not sure that the word seesaw is universal across everybody who speaks English.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you. There's a lot of actually sayings in America that when I went over there for the pre-season invitational, I got so confused. Like, when I first had breakfast over there, someone said to me, "Oh, do you want your eggs like sunny side up or whatever?" And I was like, "What does that even mean?" And I was like, "Yes."
Oh, come on, dude. I know what
Sure.
sunny side up means.
Oh, really? Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
the yolk up or whatever it is. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was just me being really
Is it
stupid.
fried egg? Is it literally? I think it means. Okay, I now I've just shot myself in the foot.
Yeah,
Sunny side
I
up
know what
means
it
like
is.
fried egg, right?
I think so. I don't know. I just said yes, and then some of the guys at the SCMC headquarters just let me know. I was like, oh, and then I felt a bit silly, but we'll see. I mean, Old School is going to get jumped on here, taking a lot of damage. Prime Directive in. Von C is going really big yet again. He's got to activate the termination protocol soon. Big red button onto 3 people. He goes straight onto Old School. Old School goes down, but they trade 1-for-1 so far. I Love Jovis is still on Von C. He wants him dead. There comes the termination protocol. I don't think Joseph is long for this world. However, does dodge out of the Prime Directive. Gabe Vizzle makes it out of the back of that fight with his sneaky beaver shoes. Does manage to get out, but TSM, Cloud9, they trade 1-for-1.
Oh, so equal between these two teams right now. Von C doing so much work, as is Old School. Just so much damage output. Old School actually got an Aegis now, has got a breaking point as well as a Tyrant's Monocle. So going for the breaking point build on this duel, something that we don't see huge amounts of. A lot of people do sometimes like to go down the straight up critical strike duel, but what this does, if you're going to build defense, going the breaking point allows you to exist for a little bit longer in team fights, be a little bit more effective building those stacks up. I personally prefer the critical strike duel because I feel like if you're going to jump in as a duel, your one job is to try and blow someone up, but this also works as long as you have the protection, and with the healing of Lyra, it does give you, as a melee weapon power carry, a little bit more time to build stacks because you have a little bit more sustain naturally in the team fight. So I think this works perfectly fine for Old School. Can build stacks very easily off Flash X and Von C as well. Obviously his main target will be Best Check though.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just the longer the team fight lasts as well, just the stronger Old School is going to get. Same with Best Check
Russian mid.
Are they? Oh, all right, okay. So Cloud9 have said, "All right, I've had enough. We've had enough of this game. Make it 1-1 already." Just like the recalls are coming out from TSM, but however, they might just lose this turret off the back of this one. Prime Directive goes in, lands onto 3 people, but Gapers was going to be there with the Blight Bulwark. Flash X with the huge ult just come in. The Crucible just coming out way too late. Prime Directive yet again landing from Von C. The termination protocol comes out as well.
Oh, 3-man!
They've done it! I think they might have just done it. I Love Joseph is going so low. Ends up getting taken out, but they trade 1-for-1. Old School is just on a blinking health bar at this point, but Von C coming up big. Gabe Fizzle, Crystal Miner on you as well, buddy. Triple kill coming through. Ace as well for TSM. They want to win this game. They're going for the Kraken.
Okay, 2 major things there. Obviously, one of them was the fact that it forced Jewel to jump out, and then essentially they were able to follow up. Once they turned back onto Best Check they did exactly what we talked about earlier on, Jaws. They grouped up to try and blow up the carry of the Vox, allowing Von C to go unnoticed almost. Huge termination protocol, a 3-man termination protocol. You almost never see that. It's like a dream situation for an alpha. And I almost thought Von C was going to go down, but TSM Flash X lands a massive quibble, gets a stun onto Old School, allowing the reboot from Von C to take place. And once Alpha Alpha has rebooted, like you said, with blinking health bars. Von-C clean shop, just core charges everywhere, decimates the remaining health of C9. The kind of team fight that TSM will dream about. Brilliant, brilliant play, and they secure the Kraken. This should allow them to catch up a couple of those global objectives.
Oh man, the gold is in Cloud9's favor as well. That's the big thing. But TSM, what a team fight from Von-C. It's definitely the MVP of this match. Like that turret is just getting disintegrated. They want to go in from this one. Gabe Bizzle comes through with the part. The only Captain Frenzy is going to get blocked yet again. No termination protocol yet from Von-C. He's just going to keep saving it, and this is the problem with Cloud9. They're going to kill him, but they're going to have to kill him again. And he might just go down. It didn't really do too much damage, but this time Cloud9, they're turning this one. What is going on? A true seesaw in this match. FlashX gets jumped on. He goes down. Ace comes through. Cloud9, they just want the base of TSM. They're going to get that turret. Will they be able to get any more? Because they're racing against the Kraken.
They're going to race against the Kraken here. They might actually have time to do this. That one turret will mean that Best Chuckane is going to come up very, very quickly, but I don't think it's going to be quick enough here, Jaws. I actually think C9 are going to run straight down and take this game in the first of the series. Best Chuckane is up, but it's just him versus the world.
Oh, it's going to be 2 turrets down. They just need the Vein Crystal now, and I think they've got it. Cloud9 are going to tie this series up 1-1. TSM with a fantastic performance from Von-C. Just can't clinch it in the end. What a fantastic series this is turning out to be.
Oh, we expected this to be a really closer